Joe, here we go then. First league game. How much are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, we can't wait to get going. Even though it's been a short pre-season, it feels like it's been forever. So yeah, we're all excited. We're all ready to go. I think we've had a good couple of results pre-season, which puts us in good stead going into the game. But we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves and how tough it's still going to be.
What have you tried to change or implement in terms of the squad?
Well, there's been a lot of change, to be fair. Just me and another staff member coming in breeds change anyway. But I've tried to change a style up, trying to change a way of playing. I wanted them to play a little bit more structured. I wanted them to have a little bit more structure behind the ball, out of possession and in possession. Along with that came a formation change, but they've took it on board brilliantly. It's one thing I noticed when I first come in, that I wasn't keen to try and put too much change onto them and force it too early, but they were soaking it up like sponges. So I was really happy with how that's gone.
Will that still take time to bed in, or do you expect to see that immediate change right away?
I think it'll still take time. I think it could still be better. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is right now. I'm not saying it's great, but I didn't expect it to go as well as it has with that change. But I still expect them to be better in the coming months with that as well.
Joe, what are your expectations for the Rangers team this season?
I think just coming off the disappointment of last year and how that felt. For me personally, I want this group of players to enjoy playing a certain way. For me, inwardly, we need to make sure that we're wanting to play, we're wanting to win every single game, which, don't get me wrong, they would have done that last year, but for me it was making that change within house to make sure that they knew how it felt to win. And just by getting a couple of results in pre-season, I think that's definitely helped. And we just need to make sure that we take that week by week and just keep building on it and leaning on it and feeling how it feels and pushing that forward throughout the group, and hopefully we can go on and win things this year, because that's ultimately what we're here to do.
How have you enjoyed your first few weeks as being the main person in charge of a team like Rangers?
Yeah, it's been great. I think it's important that you know the pressures that come along with being a Rangers manager, and we feel that within ourselves anyway. We feel that within this group, but I think it's something that you can either you crumble under or you thrive upon. And for me, I'm just trying to make sure that we're doing the same things week in, week out that I know that's worked previously, and I'm starting to see them come into fruition up here as well. So I'm happy.
Yeah, many chats with Michael about managing a club.
I haven't. I've passed him a few times in the corridor, especially after we beat Celtic, so that was a nice one. So we've had a few chats, but nothing too in depth right now. I'm hoping to pick his brains a few times.
Final from me then, what do you expect from Spartans?
It's going to be a tough test. We know that they're physical and they hit front line really, really well. We've done our work on them this week, so we've got to be ready on transition. But yeah, what we've done out on the training pitch, I'm happy with that and how we're going to go into the game.
Hi Joe, we saw how close last season was and almost into the last kick. How do you assess the challenge this season of where Rangers are compared to their competitors?
Yeah, it's difficult because everybody's changing year in, year out. Everybody wants to get better. There's already been managerial changes throughout the league as well, so everybody's going to bring something different. We're already starting on a different path than what they did last year, so I think it's hard to compare to last year. We can only really concentrate on what we're doing, and I think as long as we keep doing that and wanting to get better ourselves, we shouldn't really have to worry too much about what other competitors are doing around us, because we expect to win and we want to be up here. So for me, we know it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long old season. So yeah, we're just trying to make it through this first part of the season with some consistency, really.
Do you relish that tussle between, as we say, the big three between you guys? That's something that you look forward to?
Absolutely, because that's what it is. That's what everybody looks for. But as we say, there's different games in the league where we messed up last year, so we can't take those for granted, and that's something that we're going to speak about going throughout the season. It's not just the big games that we've got to concentrate on. Yes, we've got to get there and do well in those, but to get to that level and make those games bigger, we've got to make sure that we're doing what we need to do in the other games too.
Joe, can I just ask you about the World Cup? I know you want to concentrate on the league game, but how excited are you the chance of England potentially winning it this year?
I'm massively excited. I can't wait. I think it's brilliant that they've had that exposure that they had last year. They know that pressure and how it feels. I know there's been a lot of talk around Lauren James being missed, but the girls did it without her last year, so they know how it feels and they know how it looks. I think it's probably got one of the best chances they've ever had with the teams going out to win a World Cup. And I think 2 massive successful years could be huge for women's football, in England especially.
Given you experienced it in 2015, how much do you think now that it's moved on and not only just for England but for women's football in general?
Yeah, it's had a huge knock-on effect. You can see the attendances all around the world have just skyrocketed. And we knew it needed to go that way to progress the sport. But I think, as you say, coming a long way in 8 years, it's gone massive. And I think just the home Euros last year really helped in and around England, just to bring it all together, because we see that people do turn up to games. I think that was always the thing before. Nobody wants to come and watch, nobody will come and watch. And when you're selling out Wembley and you're selling out, the Bramall Lanes just for that hold less, but we're still selling out stadiums no matter what the capacity. So I think just for me, we just need to keep at that, keep filling stadiums and keep getting everyone through the gates and watching the game.
You mentioned Lauren James. Is there any advice you would give to her given what's happened over the last week?
Oh, she'll learn more from this in this last week than she will over the last couple of years. She's got a good team around her. Serena's great. She's a great man manager, so I fully expect her to look after her and protect her a little bit. She's one of those players that she wears her heart on her sleeve and she'll learn from it. I think it was naive what she did, but I don't think there was any malice behind what she did. I think you'd see that a lot of the time. I think now we look at it and we just go, she's got to learn from that really. She didn't intend to hurt anybody, I don't think, but it's something she's definitely got to learn from.
So there was an upsurge in attendances in Scotland last year too. I think the domestic attendance record was broken 3 times in the Women's Premier League. But how do you sustain that, and what's the challenge behind keeping that interest?
I think when people do come to watch, we've got to give them a performance level that they want to continue to come and watch, and that's one thing that we do challenge the girls with. It's putting on a performance as well, and knowing that we've got to keep fans coming into the ground, but to do that the girls have got to play a certain way and feel that they're happy in that. And I think anybody that comes to watch games, they know when players are happy playing the way that they're playing, because you can see it. They're involved, they're invested, they're happy in playing a certain way, and I've definitely seen that with this group going forward. And I think the game just keeps getting better. The signings that have been made just keep making the game better. So yeah, I'm excited for the league going forward. I think we just need to keep, getting people through the door and watching the game.
Joe, given this team's in transition, you're changing the formation, all the players have changed. How do you ally that sense of change, and it's going to take a bit of time with the expectations and demands that come with being a Rangers manager? Yeah,
it's difficult to marry the two up, but we've got to make sure that we stick to those processes. We know that you might not get immediate success, but this is why we had a really good pre-season. It was important for me that we got game time in, and I spent a lot of time with the players on the pitch. I have given them a lot of information, and we've spent a long time in here going through analysis clips and working in little groups as well. So they've had a lot of information, and I'm really impressed with how they've been able to take that on board. I think if we keep talking about expectation within the group without knowing what it takes to get there, you can kind of miss a stage. So yes, we know what's expected of us as staff and as players, but to actually achieve things, we need to make sure that we're hitting those processes along the way. So we don't talk about that winning too much because we know we expect it. We just need to make sure we're delivering it day in, day out.